So we have Sydney here, and Sydney is one of the Diet Doc clients, has had some awesome experience throughout. And we were just talking about how, in our industry right now we have progress photos that are up all the time, but the real transformation happens in a deeper way, something that you can't really see.
Definitely.
So we're going to go through what that experience has been like for Sydney. And so you live in San Francisco.
I do.
We both do. And what do you do for work right now?
I'm an RN. I work in radiology, mostly, really long hours. Kind of a tough schedule, but you know that. We've been working on that.
Totally. Okay, so one of the questions that I had for you is, in terms of like your schedule, because you're kind of all over the place, has it been hard to figure out in terms of the program that we've kind of set up for you, like how to eat, when to eat? Is it like a struggle to prepare for yourself?
So that was definitely, when we first started, one of the toughest things. Was work. And the long hours, no breaks, terrible options in the cafeteria, and navigating all of that. But I would say now that I've gotten the hang of it, between the meal prepping, the snack options, and learning how to navigate the cafeteria, work is by far where I excel.
Cool.
Those are usually my best macronutrient days are at work.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool, yeah.
Would you say it's because there's a structure and now you know exactly how to navigate that structure?
Right, so as far as like timing and, I know if I have 5 minutes, then I have a snack in my locker that's perfect and it's not gonna throw my entire day off, but it's gonna satiate me. Or if it's not a crazy day and I have some time to like actually be thoughtful and creative about my lunch, then I go down to the cafeteria and take my time. And it's really nice to just like have the tools to not feel like I'm in a little box just because of my schedule.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I love this stuff. Okay, so the next question, I wrote all these down, so now I'm just trying to like pull them out of my brain. Before we started with this program, what was your idea of what was quote unquote healthy?
I think this is probably what took me so long to get started, to come to you, was that when I thought about people who were healthy, I thought about people who just never got to indulge, who were constantly restricting themselves. I think about my friends who are on diets and they can't drink and they can't have pizza and like all those things in my mind were just almost like not worth it to a point to me. I wasn't ready to give up enjoying San Francisco.
Totally.
Basically. It kept me in the dark for a really long time, but here we are, 30 years old, and now I understand that I can actually enjoy food and still accomplish my goals.
Yes. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but before we started, you were basically like, oh hell no. Oh no, I'm not gonna like quit this, I'm not gonna quit that. And so when we started, do you feel like you had to quit anything?
Negative. I mean, I will say I've definitely gotten better at navigating like menus and social situations. In the beginning, it's still like, you're a little nervous to go out with friends and be able to choose things that you want to eat and, things that your friends won't laugh at you and, or whatever it is. But now I'm still they're still getting used to this, but I'm still telling my friends, pick anywhere. We can go anywhere. You don't have to worry about me. And they're like, well, what can you eat? Can you eat? Yes, I can literally eat anything. Don't worry about me. Like, I can navigate these situations, I promise. Just, I ate a burrito last night.
Right, exactly.
And I feel so good about it.
Oh, I'm sure. Burritos are amazing.
They're the best.
Yeah. Okay, so in total, how much weight have you actually lost?
So I started at 210, maybe a little over 210, and I am now at 170. So
it's freaking
math
awesome.
is hard. What is that? 30?
It's like
30.
A little more than 30.
35, 40 pounds. It's not about the numbers.
But every time that Sydney comes in, I see her waiting on the couch, and I'm like, who is that? Oh crap, it's Sydney. My goodness, you look so good. Like every time you come in, I'm like, who's that woman. Oh, she's for me. Oh, okay.
I'm shrinking.
You're shrinking.
I'm trying not to shrink.
Right, okay, so now we're going into building muscle.
The other direction.
Totally. Okay, so a few more questions, and we're kind of hitting everything as we kind of go along. But one of the biggest ones we were just mentioning about that has it changed the way you think about the word diet?
Oh, yes. So that happened for me months ago at this point. So now it's about explaining to other people what the word diet means.
Mm-hmm.
And just because I eat right and I have a balanced diet doesn't mean I'm on a diet.
Mm-hmm.
It's such an unfortunate situation in our society that the word diet means that you are restricting yourself in like all these different ways or doing all these crazy things. To me, the word diet now just means like balance and a better understanding of what I'm doing.
Yeah, and understanding. That's the biggest
just
thing.
Understanding in general.
Yeah, because for the most part, you know, we're dealing with macronutrients primarily, and you have your carbs, your proteins, your fats, and a certain amount you can have at one time, and your body will actually be able to process it and use it. So you can have a donut, you can have a burger, you can have a piece of pizza, and it's just learning how your body specifically will be able to use it and how long it will take to process it, and then, you know, navigating the rest of your day to make it happen. Yeah, so I love the knowledge that you've already had, and what's happened throughout our experience is that in the beginning, I would share with Sydney, you know, okay, so just take a look at these things. Maybe you can get a little protein here, you can get a little carb here. And then you would start to actually dictate to me what you saw you could improve on the day before. You'd be like, oh yeah, I should have gotten more protein in, and my carb was a little off, and tomorrow I think I'm gonna do this. And so you were already planning it out. Like the dialogue was in your head. So
it's like I'm constantly having that conversation with myself too. You know, I'll sort of, because I still track what I eat. I think it's a really helpful tool. And so sometimes it'll be 9 o'clock at night and I'll realize I'm hungry and I'll kind of look through my day and say like, you know, I'm kind of low on carbs today. I could use a little more protein. Like, does anybody want to eat some ice cream with me?
Exactly.
It's nice.
Okay, so, and then coming to the final question. The question is, if you were to have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
So this might be like the most cliche answer, but before we started, I spent 0 time in the kitchen, unless I was like making cocktails maybe. That would be about the only thing. But now with like meal prepping and being creative and understanding food, I'm cooking a lot more.
Ooh.
And it's fun, but I realize like I don't know anything. And I remember my grandmother trying so hard to get me into the kitchen when I was little so she could teach me things, and so now I have so many questions for her.
Oh, I love that.
And I miss her food so much. I would love the opportunity to like take her recipes and turn them into, you know, not southern fried awful things, but like versions of that would be good for me. I know that's a fun sad answer, right?
No, but it's a great answer. I totally didn't expect that one at all, which is why
I would love it. Just sit me down with like her recipe book, let me go through it, talk to her about it. That would be awesome.
What would the food be that you guys would share?
So the one that I miss so much, and I've tried to talk to my mom about it, but she doesn't have the recipe for it either. It's Hungarian, and it's called goulash.
Ooh.
And it's a pasta dish. So I mean, I already have some ideas of what I would do to it to make it better for me, but I would love to just see the original recipe.
It sounds like you should do that.
I'll work on it.
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
All right. Okay, anything else that you would like to share as like, if people were asking you, you know, just one piece of information that you can leave with folks that are thinking about just having a different relationship with food and going through what you've gone through?
So in the whole process, I think my coworkers have probably been the people that have noticed the most. They see me every day. So I get a lot of questions at work about what I'm doing, and my standard answer at this point has just become, one, it doesn't have to be as complicated as you're probably making it in your head. I know I did. I made it really scary, and it's not. And it sounds super corny, but it can really be fun. And now that I have a hang of it, it's just insanely empowering.
Yeah. I freaking love this. Okay, awesome. So that's it. Here's Sydney. So appreciate you being here. She's supporting San Francisco as well.
Always.
Good play. And we have our superheroes behind us, if you hadn't noticed. So hope that helps everyone, and we're signing off.